farted.
Oops.
I'm trying to figure out which one, Hannah or Sophie, but it's all good. Somebody farted is what it is. So we're just waiting for a few people to join.
Yeah, and let me get you the link here.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna just do it on Facebook. You want it too, Sherwin?
Mm-hmm.
All right, great.
Okay, I'm gonna share it.
Let me do that too.
More copy.
This the one we can share to Facebook, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And so they'd see it on YouTube. They don't have to sign in, do they? They don't have to sign in, do they?
Right.
Okay.
And we're live now too.
We're live.
Okay.
All right.
So we have Christy with us. Christy's been waiting on us for a while, I think.
Oh, hi, Christy. So now, should we just start, or we want to wait for a few more people? I sent the link to
a couple more people, maybe. We'll wait like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. How do I see the
A
comment?
couple more people, maybe. We'll wait like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
There's echo.
Yeah.
How do I see the
A
comment?
couple more people, maybe. We'll wait like. Oh shit! No. Does somebody have their YouTube on?
I don't have anything on YouTube.
All right. I'm gonna click that. Yeah, I don't have my YouTube on either.
But now it's done. I don't hear an echo again, so.
Okay. Hey, Rob, how are you?
Hey, twin.
Hey, Rob.
I'm looking at Sharon. He's like, looking down at his computer. Snips.
Seeing who's all want to come on here.
So that's it. I'll post it to the Calico Goddess too.
Oh, you want me to do it to
the Collegium?
Mm-hmm.
I might. Yeah, that would actually be.
Did you already do that one?
Not yet, no.
Okay, you want me to do that one while you do Calico?
Yes, please. I definitely like StreamYard more than Zoom. Even though I still pay for Zoom, I'm really liking StreamYard a lot.
Yeah, me too. The picture and the sound is a lot better.
Yeah. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Naya.
Okay, I guess we go ahead and get started.
I can post it to Instagram.
Okay.
I'll publish it now. Why can't you post it to Instagram? I wonder.
Because you can't. It doesn't. They don't have clickable links. That's why I don't ever do it to Instagram.
So annoying. So hi everybody, thank you for joining us today on Conjure Crew. We have Houngan Sherwin with us today, a professor of the Collegium with his bright shirt. Every time I see you, you're just so bright, which I like. It's good. Colors are good. How are you?
I'm well. How are y'all?
Doing good, doing good. Glad to have you here.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Glad to be here.
I know we did this on the Collegium, but now we're going to do it here. We want people to see you again and learn all about you and your ways. So if you want, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? We know about you, but tell us about yourself for those who don't know you.
Okay. I grew up in the tradition of conjure. I started practicing conjure since the age, I would say, 9. and I was taught by my father. And after my father passed, my family members on my mother's side continued to teach me because on both sides, I have holiness and Baptist ministers, bishops, and conjure folk. My great grandfather was Cherokee. He was also a voodoo priest. Um, and so as I got older, I started delving into other practices outside of conjure, and it started with traditional witchcraft. And so as I grew into traditional witchcraft, I slowly but surely kind of inched out there and started reading palms for people. The first person I ever read palms for was actually my, let's see, was it my fifth grade after school teacher. That was yeah, we was in after school, and she was sitting there, and I forgot what we was talking about. I think we was talking about spirits and stuff. And I looked at her, I was like, I could read your palm. And so then she was like, okay, read my palm. And then after I read her palm, she came back to school the next day, and in front of everyone in the after school program, she was like, everything you said in my palm came true. And so then the students looked at her and was like, what? You read palms, and that's just started the firestorm. And so then after that, I started reading. I started reading playing cards, and then after that, I started going through other various forms of divination, and I got deeper into conjure. The more I learned, the more I practiced it. With the whole traditional witchcraft, I was kind of that was kind of on the sidelines as I delved deeper into conjure. Around those times, I was studying about Haitian voodoo. It took me 14 years before I found a house. Within the meantime, I was studying and learning on the various Houngans and Mambos, and then when I finally found the house that was right for me, and to be honest, I wasn't even looking to get initiated into voodoo then. I actually was just getting scratched. I just went along with what my spirits told me to do, and then after that, like after I got scratched, I believe it was a year later, I was guided to go through the first initiation, which is a seventh tet, and then after that, I just climbed on up, wherever the Loa guided me to, and then here I am as a Hugana Sagwe in Haitian voodoo and a Palero of Palomayambi.
Mm-hmm. I can't make comments, Lynna. I mean, I wasn't sure if we were allowed to because I was going to say hi to everybody for joining us.
Yeah,
Um,
you should be able to see them over on the right.
I can see them. I just can't make comments myself.
Oh. Well, you can just speak it.
Okay, well, no problem. Hey, thank you everybody for joining us. It's nice to see you. For those that missed the introduction, we have Sherwin, the almighty and powerful Oz, as he calls himself. I'm pretty sure.
No.
You're not on there. You're like, I'm the great and powerful Oz. Look in the mirror like, yep, that's me. That's me.
The Conjure Man Preacher.
I know, right?
Brother Conjure.
I'm gonna start using that term, Lynna, conjure preacher.
Conjure preacher.
Brother
It works well for you. Definitely. So my question then to you is, what are you teaching at the Collegium?
I'm going to teach theurgy, working with spirits, gods, deities, elementals, genie, loci, mainly beings of the spiritual realm, and how to work with them properly in various traditions, and how to honor them and serve them. What the various protocols with working with them.
Nice. That's exciting. So are you going to be working, what specific deities are you looking at? Or are you just going to have a large plethora of them?
I'm gonna work through the different mythologies, but mainly the ones that really, from what I've been seeing with people that really stand out, like Aphrodite, Hecate, Ares, Hades, and then go from like the Greek to the Roman and various ones. But I'm gonna have specific ones that I'm gonna be working towards and teaching about.
Will you have any Egyptian in there?
Yeah, it'll be mainly like Isis, Thoth, and Horus.
Hathor.
I don't. She doesn't like me, so Sekhmet doesn't like me either. I can't get with Sekhmet.
Oh no! What'd you do? That's funny. What happened?
What about Bath? Bath might be interesting.
I love.
Bast.
I work with Bast.
I know a few people that work with Bast, but I can't really delve into her like that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
Just so rude with my boss and my segment, but we do both work with Hecate.
Right.
So then my other question for you, then you said you're going to be talking about other spirits. So what kind of spirits are you talking about?
Let's see, spirits within the ATRs, such as Haitian voodoo, Palomayambe, things of that nature. They are initiatory, but I'm gonna still speak on them because a lot of people have gained false information when it comes to Loa, Orishas, Mpungos, things of that nature. So it'll give some folks a map to help them to uh know how to differentiate between the three, because Freda is not Oshun and Danto is not Oya and things of that nature.
Yeah, I know a lot of people feel like they're an energy. They're the same energy, just called different things. And I know that they have different rules as well. So yeah, they're not. They're definitely the same.
Right.
Definitely not.
Freda in Voodoo is not the same as Freda in oh my God. I'm having a moment. You know who Freda is?
Freda and Voodoo.
The Celts and stuff.
And you're talking about Freda in the Celtic mythology or Celtic? Yeah.
So because they have the same name, they're not the same one.
The same. Definitely the same. You guys can come adopt 2 cats. They're being such brats. I fed them and everything, and they're still being bratty.
No, ma'am. Sure will.
No, I can't let them go. I do love my cats. Thanks. So, I mean, Lynna, did you have a question? I don't want to take over everything. We should both.
No, go ahead. I'm just listening. If I think of something, I'll interrupt.
Okay. So what is it like now that we know that, of course you want to lay out a roadmap, you want to make sure that everyone knows how to work with them and who they actually are. What is your goal for the students of the Collegium when you're teaching this, besides just giving them a roadmap?
My goal is to mainly give them working is like I would say, how should I put this? Not just a proper way of working, but understanding those beings and also understanding themselves and how you being a spirit, having a human experience and being able to work with other spirits, you'll be able to understand those spirits at a whole different standpoint, because it's kind of like working with other human beings, but at a more elevated status. But that mainly goes with working with gods and deities, whereas other spirits such as Loa, Orishas, and Umpungos, you get kind of more so in your face, because just like in Haitian voodoo, Loa come down for possession, then you'll know the proper protocols and say, okay, well, I can speak to this Loa this way, this way, and this way, or I can speak to this Orisha this way, this way, this way. Whereas more so there isn't much possession in Palomayambi, but you can't work with a Umpungo without this ceremony and this ceremony and this ceremony. So it's basically I want them to have a working understanding of how to deal with these beings properly, and to know various signs of their presence. That's a big one, because a lot of people set up altars and stuff, but they don't know how to recognize the presence of a spirit or the presence of a god or a goddess. So
well, I think for many people, Once again, we go back to the fact that they were given false information. Everyone assumes, because the thing is, a god, a goddess, a spirit they appear to everyone differently. It's not all the same.
Mm-hmm.
And so everyone has a different experience. So I think a lot of people are under the assumption that if they appear to this person this way, then that's how they're going to appear to them as well. So there's multiple ways that they can appear to people, not just one way. And I understand that, yeah, a lot of people have a false understanding that they have to be a certain way, but that's not the case.
Right.
Are you going to be teaching like service as well?
How to serve? Yeah, I'm gonna teach them how to serve the various deities and spirits. I'm a probably throw a little bit of how to serve like a legba in there, but I can't get too in depth because there are certain ones that you cannot serve because for one they possibly don't walk with you, or there has to be some deeper information there to help you work with those specific loa. But the main ones that you can work with, because everyone have them, is Legba, uh, Ogu, and Gedi.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason I was asking was because you can't just call on spirit to just do your bidding,
Right,
they expect something from you too.
right, right, and
Not genies.
Right.
right. And the big thing is relationship. You have to build a relationship with all these, spirits and gods because, they don't know you. That's just like dialing the wrong phone number.
Right. And not mixing pantheons and traditions and stuff too.
Which
Right.
is a thing a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your experience, Sharon, with people mixing pantheons? Do you find that sometimes when people mix all these different pantheons, you walk into their house and it's just insane chaos?
Yeah, pretty much. You have Freda and Danto together with Oya and Oshun and Ogun and Shango, and you have all these various altars, and it's just a big old energetic mix of just a mess, right?
I think
Right,
what a lot of people don't realize is that not all spirits like the other spirits. They don't all get along.
right,
And just because you want to work with that spirit doesn't mean you can work with both of them at the same time. And I learned that, like, I can work with Boss and Sekhmet at the same time, but I did learn because Boss came to me first. Even though Boss came to me first, Sekhmet was very possessive and aggressive. And so she wanted to be recognized first, even though she came second.
right.
Now imagine if you threw the Morgan in on that.
I don't work with the Morgan, but I had won a statue of the Morgan. So she is also in my house, but I don't work with her that way.
Yeah, but imagine those three being all together.
Too much. It was too much.
Yeah, I had to tell the Morgan she has to give me a break. She wouldn't lay off my ass.
What did she want from you?
Well, she kept putting obstacles in my path, and it's a constant battle. Since she's a warrior, she's always going to make you fight. She's always going to cause dissension because she's going to constantly test you and test you and test you and test you. So I was like, "Look, you got to lay off my ass now. You got to."
You're like, it's enough.
Yeah, yeah. I had to leave her, and see the thing about with, like, say for instance, and I always give this example because everybody claims so much when it comes to these two Loa, but just like with Danto and Freda don't get along. You shouldn't put them in front of each other. You shouldn't put them beside each other. The only way if they are in the same room is if they're in no way, shape, or form even facing each other. Because they being sisters, they don't like each other. And the reason, and a lot of people don't know why they don't like each other. Well, there's one story where it was said, which with Danto and Freda, is that uh Danto and Freda end up liking the same man, and it was an Ogu. And so when Danto found out that Freda was in love with the Ogu as well, they fought. And so when they fought, Danto took her dagger and stabbed Freda in the heart. And so when Danto stabbed Freda, Freda took the knife out of her heart and she slashed Danto on the face with the knife. So when you see the images of Freda, you see the knife in her heart. Danto put it there. And when you see the scratches or the lines on Danto's face, Freda cut her on the face.
All over a guy, huh?
Right. Another Ugu. So
That's
that's
unfortunate.
right. So that's why they had that dissension between themselves. But the thing about that is they have this relationship where they can mess with each other, but you can't mess up with one without getting the wrath of the other.
Oh yeah, that's the way it should be too. It's like I can fight my sister, but you can't fight my sister.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Are
And
these the two sisters that if one has something, the other one has to have it?
yes, you have to serve. If you serve one on Tuesday, you have to serve the other one on Thursday. Or like Danto is Tuesday, Freda is Thursday. If you serve Danto Tuesday, you will have to serve Freda Thursday. And if you don't, she will get mad.
Oh my goodness. Oh my no, that might be too much for my house.
And see, in Haitian voodoo, you have where you marry Loa. So a Loa could come down and ask for marriage. So then, if you say, for instance, Danto comes down and asks for marriage, it is by default that you have to marry Fredo. So you have to marry both of them.
I'm like,
I know we both kind of look.
and I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah, or some in certain houses, if an Ogu asks for marriage, you have to marry Ogu, Dambala, and Kuzin to bring balance to them. Since Ogu is fire, Kuzin is like earth, and Dambala is basically spirit or purity or clear headedness. So they'll have to balance all three out in some houses.
Oh no. I would. Oh my goodness, that's like a lot of marriage going on. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of marriage. That's a big commitment.
It is. It is. You have to sleep by yourself. No sex on their days. You have to. It's their day. Like with me, for instance, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I can't touch no woman. Not even hug. I can hug my daughter, but Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's
Yeah, I
out.
would have forgotten my house would have been all jacked up. And it would be something simple like, "Oh, I'm so happy to see you, hug," and I'd be like, "Oh no, oh no. I
Yeah.
would have messed up, and I'm just being honest with myself. I would have messed up. Sophie.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of apologizing because I went to Omaha and everyone was happy to see me and everyone had wanted to hug and I was like, oh, it's Thursday, oh boy, and I don't want to seem stuck up or anything. So when I got back home, I had to do a whole lot of apologizing. But
Oh my goodness.
but see that's
Probably because I would have been so happy. Oh, I'm so happy to see you too. Hug, 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 hug. Just jacked up.
yeah. So but that comes along with the commitment because I mean, that goes, and not even with Loa, there is other taboos and other traditions as well that you have to follow. There's taboos in Greek and in Hindu, just like okay, no one really knows this, but Lakshmi and Saraswati don't get along. That's why you see a lot of images of them with Ganesh in the middle, because if you
Yeah.
remove Ganesh out of the middle, Saraswati and Lakshmi will fight.
Are you done?
Mm-hmm. Oh, just like when Greek mythology, certain gods don't go on altars together because they don't get along. Because
Right.
a lot of them have either transformed somebody's lover into something, or they done kill somebody, or they done rape somebody,
No.
or or who knows, just like Aphrodite. Aphrodite was a known cheater, and she got caught, and someone snitched on her, and she turned the person into a cow. And so that person or anyone that has to deal with Hephaestus, is rare that you will see them on an altar with Aphrodite.
Oh my goodness.
So there's.
I assume that honestly, if you're really serious about working with that deity, that you're going to know those things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, then it'll definitely be known in your house, so you will figure it out. We have a question though. It says, so Anubis and Mother, I assume, would not get along since she abandoned him. I'm just asking for education purposes. I've never worked with either, but but now I need to know.
So Anubis and Mother, who is Mother?
Anubis is and his mother.
Anubis and his mother. I don't even know.
I've never worked with Anubis like that.
I don't even know whose Anubis's mother is.
We can look it up. Would you like me to look it up?
Yeah. We have to look that up.
What was Isis and Osiris' son's name?
You said Isis and Osiris?
Mm-hmm.
That was Horus.
Horus, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's like Horus and Set. Horus and Set doesn't get along.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people get the Greeks and the Romans confused too, and they don't get along.
Right.
Yeah, right. And but their gods have a lot of similarities.
Right, and that's why I think people get them confused.
Nephthys.
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 Nephthys was the goddess of the night, wasn't she? Wasn't she?
She's the mother of the deity of Anubis. Alternatively, let me see here. Oh, but it doesn't have much about her. Hold on, let me look at this.
Isis' sister. Yeah, there were 7 kids because oh God, I can't remember. It's been so long. Ra and what was the mom's name? Was it Nai? Nai and Ra only get to mate once a year. And at that one time, they had those 7 kids. So Isis and Osiris are actually brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Y'all can keep talking. I'm just going to do this research right quick. You guys are so quiet.
We're listening.
Yeah, she was associated with morning and the night darkness surfaces, childbirth, dead, protection, magic, health, embalming, and beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So to answer the question, then,
would he get along with her? I don't know. I've never looked into that.
I would think probably not, because she abandoned him.
Yeah, she said she left him to the wolves.
Mm-hmm. Right. So,
and Isis took him on and cared for him. I have to look into that more, because I never thought about it.
Right.
It's true.
Right. But so yeah. Let's see.
But there have been some cases where deities have done the other deity wrong, but they still seem to get along. It's kind of like a hate-love relationship. I can't remember who, but I know there are certain deities like that.
Mm-hmm. Right. Let's see here. That goes back to like with Aphrodite as well. Zeus.
More than explain.
Wouldn't it be what's her name? Hades and isn't it Hades and Persephone? No. Yeah, Hades and Persephone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a story within that with Hecate as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thin line between love and hate.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, I mean, if anything, I would be mad at him. I'd be like, no, I'm stuck down here, Hag. But I know the mother and Hades don't get along, but still, you know.
Right, Demeter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's when Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon were gambling for who would rule heaven, earth, and hell, and I believe it was Poseidon that tricked Hades, one of the two, and Hades ended up in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
See, I mean, I gotta think about it. Like when I think about Zeus, I was just laughing about this the other day because like my friend was watching Hercules, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, Zeus, that's not the real Zeus. I was like, Zeus slept with everybody, and he was not loving towards Hera, and Hera was not all on Zeus either. I was like, let's separate that because Hera was definitely a little. She was evil, but anything
Mm-hmm.
happened to do with Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Not like that. Just telling you." Hera didn't like anything to do with Zeus, and she will do things just to spite him. So,
Right.
but
Right. Right. It's just like the Orishas, Oya and Oshun don't get along.
mm,
They have their space, and then Oba there where I believe it was who it was. I think Oshun. Oshun tricked Oba. It was either Oshun or Oya tricked Oba into putting her ear in Shango's soup because she said that if Shango ate her ear, that Shango would love her forever. And so when Shango went to sit down and eat his soup, and he seen Oba's ear floating in the soup, he threw the soup away and yelled at her, and she ran off. And when she ran off, I believe she became a river.
mm,
So that's why you have that story of Oba, Oya, and Oshun. And then you also have where Shango and Ogun got into it for Oshun. And then you have them where they have the times where they fought together, they fought against each other. Um, you have the various stories of dissension within the spiritual realm, just basically like human beings.
mm. I have a weird question. Have you ever worked with Medusa?
No.
Darn, no one's ever worked with Medusa. I'm trying to get them information.
I was going to say, I've never heard of anybody working with her either.
Trying to get some information. Well, if Oz didn't do it, then you being Oz, then I guess I have to figure out something else.
Right. Hmm. But and then working with Hecate, like we said, Hecate won't work with everyone, and
She's very specific, and she's not to be played with.
right. But then you have some people that say she will work with everyone, and that she would do this, and she would do that, and that's one that, besides the Morgan, was one that actually approached me because I wasn't thinking about Hecate like at all. Hecate came to me. That's just like with the Morgan came to me. um Also, I'm gonna throw in there just a hint about certain gods and goddesses that are seen as demons, because the whole story about Lilith. I probably throw in there about speaking about Lilith and stuff because there's a lot of stigma behind Lilith.
Yeah. A lot of people are like, we can't work with her because she eats babies. And I'm like, and like she does all this horrible, horrible stuff. I would like to know what you put in there about her. That would be very intriguing to see.
Right. All right. And Lilith actually came to me. Like a lot of those like various deities. I didn't have like a huge plethora of gods and goddesses to work with. But the ones that I did work with back then and a few now, they came to me.
Sarah, a lot of people like Kali, actually. Well, Kali. A lot of them. I don't know who Apache Dreamer is, but yeah, I agree. Lilith is very misunderstood. I agree with you on that completely.
Yeah.
Sarah, can you work with Medusa? I believe you can work with Medusa. It depends on what you're doing. What I'm looking for, using her for, is definitely something very specific, or working with her for is very, very specific to do with your magic.
Right. Kali, I'll touch on Kali a little bit because Kali came to me as well. It just like certain ones, they'll visit you, for certain points in your life for different lessons, but they're not there permanently. So it's mainly, for me, it would be Kali, Shiva, and Ganesh, and just a little bit of Lakshmi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was talking about Kuan Yin.
Mm-hmm.
Say something again, Lynna.
Oh, I was talking about Kuan Yin.
Oh,
Yeah, Kuan Yin came about around the time of the death of my father. I only worked with her up until the end of his life, and then after that, I guess she went about her way because I didn't have any spiritual ties to her after that. But it taught me a lot about compassion and healing and being able to be empathic.
mm. I think she definitely is really strong also, Kuan Yin, on the divine feminine as well. So it is the nurturing nature of her as well.
Right,
So,
right.
oh wait, I was just so into your stories, I forgot my next question. Like, man, where'd it go? Lynna, you have to come up with a question because I forgot mine. I totally brain farted.
So, what would you want to teach at the Collegium?
For one, Shishi asked.
Yep, you had to say yes.
For two, it's rare that I miss a teaching experience because I've been teaching almost all my life. Like it got to the point where I taught 2 periods of literature in seventh grade? Seventh grade. My literature teacher allowed me to teach 2 periods of mythology. So I taught every myth known to man from Greek to Celtic, and I enjoyed it. So
That's exciting.
But why? Look, I'm gonna be like a 3-year-old.
No, like, yeah, like what is it? We're gonna
Why do you like teaching so much? Why?
I mean,
What's your motivation behind it? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
for one, it's my passion, and for two, I hate for people to be in the world feeling ignorant when it comes to spirituality, to feel lost because there's so many people in various spiritual workers inboxes asking the most simplest question. And then you have some people that don't want to answer that simple question and they get turned away and they get discouraged. And then when they get discouraged, when they finally get up the strength to ask again, then 9 times out of 10 they'll find me. And then I'll tell them exactly what they want to know. But at the same time, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. A candle is just a candle. It doesn't always have to have a meaning. But at the same time, when it comes to the big things, when big things do happen in your life, or you want to know some information about something, I'm the type, I'll tell you, and I'll be very specific. And if you take that information and whatever you do with it is up to you. So, but that's mainly it.
The more you know.
Right.
I feel like there should have been a little ringtone after that. Do do do. So besides the fact that I asked you, and the fact that you never miss a teaching moment, are you excited about teaching at the Collegium? Is the question.
I am. I mean, hey, I'm here.
So that's what we get. Okay. I'm here. Man, Sherwin. See, this is we always got that bantering going on.
Huh?
I said, that's why we always got this bantering going on. I'm like, this is what you're gonna give me. That's what we're coming up with.
So tell us, okay, I'm going to kind of get off the path a little bit. Tell us about your root of the bone, and also, do you have any events or anything coming up?
Oh, the Root of the Bone Conjure Society.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I actually started that a long time ago, and I deleted the page, and so I decided to start back. Originally it was going to be the Root of the Bone Conjure Church, but Spirit was like, nope, call it the Root of the Bone Conjure Society. And so mainly it's going to be where I want people of various traditions to be part of it, and I want it to be where I can have people to learn about those traditions, kind of just like the Collegium, but on a more, I would say, a more down to earth kind of like, is not necessarily teaching, but sharing more so of experience than anything, than just teaching. And I want it to be where people can come and not just receive guidance, but it's kind of like a home base. I would say kind of like a church, but it's more so a society, just where people can connect.
Mm-hmm.
And even outside of spirituality, just have a place where, you know, they can just say, okay, well, here's neutral ground.
So other people can tell their story on your page and stuff too.
Right, right. They had this experience, they can share this experience. And also a place where, if need be, we can have a space where, hey, I'm in this place, this place, this place, let's meet up, let's do this, let's connect in some shape, form, or fashion. My goddaughter Alyssa is going to be a part of it. And then I'll be choosing other people to be a part of it as well. I want it more so to be conjure and Haitian voodoo, and then build from there, because the information out there, there's so much, but at the same time, I want to be able to narrow it down, and it can be something more substantial than people constantly have to go from book to person, book to person, book to person.
So is it like, is that going to be open to the public, or is that going to be a private group, or can everybody join and get information?
As it builds, it's going to be private at first, because I want to, build the foundation of it, because I came from a conjure tradition where it was rare for an outsider to become, to practice or learn what I know without some form of ceremony or some form of ritual as an introduction to the spirits that run through my bloodline. And so I wanted to make it where whoever is a part of the society, they can become a part of that, and then can grow from there, because I want a legacy. I want to leave a legacy behind, because, with my daughter and my son growing into the tradition, I want them to be able to pass it to their kids, and then whoever is a part of the society can pass it to their kids. But it is very deep and ancestral, because so I won't be the ones really choosing the people. I always go to my spirits, and when my spirits say yes, then I go from there.
Smart move.
That's going to be in all traditions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very smart move.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't wait for the Harry Potter school to open up. When I found out what we called it, Harry Potter school. I look forward to opening up and it happening too. Rob said you're an all-around great person.
Oh, thank you, Rob. Willow has a question. Say, how do you know if a god or goddess is speaking to you versus your higher self? Well, it's like this. Well, more so for me, when it comes to a god or a goddess, they are more in my face. They're kind of like they'll show you an image of their natural habitat. Say, for instance, if it's Hecate is always at a crossroads for me. Is always standing at a crossroads, and she is in a cloak of smoke, and she always has three dogs with her, three black dogs, and she's always has her torch, but only like you don't never see the arm that's carrying the torch, and the torch flame is like a blackish green, and that's how she lights the way. Some people say that is the witch flame that is within all witches that helps ignite the magic within them. And so with my higher self is always standing above me, and my higher self is always connected to the other parts of myself which I see. And for me, when it comes to my higher self will connect with my shadow, and then my shadow will connect with my inner child. And then what it would look like a child standing in the middle of a galaxy in the shape of a human. And then that's how I connect more so with my higher self. Whereas, and also with a god or a goddess, it seems more material, more physical than your higher self. Your higher self is always giving you higher knowledge, higher learning, whereas the god or the goddess is like more to earth. So
They're to me they're more visible.
that too. Hmm.
You mean the deities?
Mm-hmm.
They are. But I also, for me, um, I feel like I hear them. They're like it's a strong. You can hear them. It's more tangible.
Mm-hmm.
When they're speaking to you as well. I mean, it's a rarity to miss it. So you know when they're after you or when they're working, want to work with you.
And you can feel the energy just kind of vibrates. You can feel it.
Right. Hmm.
But I also feel like your higher self, like let's say your higher self was speaking to you, it sounds like you. But when it's a deity, it definitely doesn't sound like you.
Right. Right. And
So
that's the thing about being like a medium or anyone that works with those deities. You have to differentiate between your higher self, that deity, or a spirit. Because, like, say for instance, for me, I have to differentiate not just between a deity, but I have to differentiate between umpungos. I have to differentiate between loa, because I have to know, how Freda sounds, or Dambala, or Legba, or how Hecate would speak, and see that, and that shows also with imagery as well for those spirits, because they'll show me specific things that pertains to them.
right.
So
Mm.
in Omaha, where else do you have any other plans for this year?
I just got back from Omaha. I'll be going back to Omaha in December. I'll be teaching at the Detroit Hoodoo Festival in April. And I will be teaching, I believe I'll still be teaching at Botanica Abre Camino in Cleveland, Ohio. I think I have to check back with that date. Um, but that'll be in 2021. So, but I won't be teaching in Omaha in December. I'll just be visiting.
Okay.
Just formally.
And
So
any online classes or?
yeah, that was my next question.
Beside the Collegium, I believe I'll be doing a class with the cult master class with Three Crows Conjure. Sometime, I think, next month, I believe.
So how does it feel to have all this knowledge? Like I mean, do you ever have a situation where it crosses over and it gets, you have issues like for you working with all these different spirits and deities? Do you ever have issues?
Um, Sometimes it's like you get to a point where you know of various traditions, and you can work within those traditions, but you have to choose, because like say for instance with Haitian voodoo, you can do practically almost anything you want to accomplish outside, outside of conjure anything within that tradition. But um, for some, I would say it probably would be exhausting. That's why I put a lot of things that I used to do on the back burner so that I would grow in the tradition, the other traditions. Like say for instance, with traditional witchcraft and stuff like that, or the Western magic. I put that on the back burner so that I can grow more into Haitian voodoo and conjure more so than before, and work with those spirits and work with the prayers and things like that, and then go from there. Because yes, it does get exhausting because there's so much to learn, there's so much to do, and then you're looking at each one and how you can work from each one, and you be like, okay, I'm kind of conflicted. What am I going to do? So, but that those are the main two that I'm mainly, working through and practicing, and is Haitian voodoo, conjure, and palo. And with the more Western, I mainly with spirit and told me to, stop practicing that and just teach that, because that's what everyone is more so into, because a lot of people are into the new age practices because that's like a springboard. That's a springboard into ATRs. It's rare to find a person that has went straight from growing their gifts and then jumping into ATR. Most of the people that are into ATRs came from witchcraft, came from ceremonial magic, those more so Western traditions. So I'm sticking more to the ATRs than anything, and teaching, outside of that,
The
the yeah, right, the Western practices.
So I guess my question is, I mean, in a way you kind of answered it because your spirit said that you can't, not to practice it, but to teach it. So is there a problem? Is there a conflict with an ATR and then the westernized, like just in itself?
You mean in the practice,
Mm-hmm.
like between what?
Traditional witchcraft, um, and the ATRs. I'm not going to call him ancient today. I'm not
um
even going to do that.
um Not really, because with traditional witchcraft, to narrow it down, traditional witchcraft is more so a form of European folk magic.
Mm-hmm.
And you have what is called the poppet. You will find the poppet in various other traditions, but originally the poppet was not a voodoo doll. The poppet was used by doctors to help people that were on bed rest, to show the doctor where it hurts, and the doctor would hold the doll and give the person the pin, and the person would stick the pin in the doll to show them where the ailment is, and then they would sit the doll down, and that would help record, what ailment the doctor has to work on.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the Nkisi. The Nkisi is in the Congo, and you have the small wooden statues or the big wooden statues with the different nails in it. But that was to awaken the spirit within the idol, within the item. And then it went from there. And then further on into European tradition, that's where you have the wax dolls, and then you have the cloth dolls, and there weren't really no pins stuck in them. It's just like a conflict of TV magic and
Yeah, Hollywood, Hol-
right,
Hollywood voodoo.
right. And then what actually happened with the doll, all that started conflicting, and then it went from there, and then everybody was like, oh, there's a voodoo doll, but there's no dolls in voodoo like that. There's dolls in voodoo, but you're not sticking no pins in them and stuff like that. There's other things you can do for the representation of a person and it affecting them.
Mm-hmm.
So there isn't too much of a conflict, because for one, you can't mix the two. And but for two, like I said, you're taking something from something, and that's just like with more so Wicca. Wicca is a mixture of various practices put into one. You have Freemasonry, you have gemstones, you have chakras, which come from India. You have some people
Targaryen.
Right, you have the Gardnerian, which Gardnerian is Freemasonry, some traditional witchcraft, some grimoire work, all that mixed into one. So it's all taken from something. Whereas Haitian voodoo is his own religion, is his own practice. It has his own magic. You might find something in there that looks grimoire, but it's more so because of the whole Freemasonry crossover. Because a lot of Hougans and Mambos and Loa are Freemasons.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you do as well? Are you a Freemason as well?
My father was a Freemason.
I'm just asking because you do a lot of stuff.
Are you
Yeah.
going to be a
It
free?
wouldn't surprise me.
Probably not.
You know what I'm thinking? Why not?
Why not? No, I got enough traditions on my plate. I don't think I can keep up with Freemasons.
Yeah.
And the thing about with Freemasons, a lot of people don't know is, for one, the traditions are watered down, and especially when it comes to African American Prince Hall Freemasonry, whereas more so the original Freemasons look down on Prince Hall. They don't see Prince Hall as a real Masonic lodge, and the Prince Halls here in the South are very religious, whereas the more the other Freemasons have all the magic.
Hmm.
And the Haitian Freemasons have magic as well, but Prince Hall is mainly prayers and songs and handshakes and passwords and stuff like that. And you know, around here in the South, I'm well known. And the first thing that will come up in the Mason Lodge is that I'm a voodoo priest, and that'll be a no go.
So you can go you couldn't do a different lodge? It has to be that specific one?
It would have to be Prince Hall. My father was initiated in Prince Hall.
I see. Well,
Mm.
then that's understandable.
And plus, a lot of, well, just I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of white Mason lodges around here are full of Klansmen, and so there'll be no way that I can get into one of those lodges.
Understood. Understood completely.
Yeah. So, and my father was actually forced to join the Mason Lodge to save himself.
Um, so yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't want you to be in any of that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want you to get caught up in anything that's crazy. So then, being a teacher, and I know I see many of your comments that a lot of people aren't prepared, when we talk about mentors and things. Being a teacher at the Collegium, what is the advice that you want to give to people who are going to be joining the Collegium as students?
For one, I always say, come as a blank slate. Don't be telling me, oh, I know. If you know more than me, how am I teaching you?
And
Because
secondly, because you said first off.
and secondly, um, pay attention. I have a tendency that when I teach, there's a lesson, there's a story within that lesson. And I'm gonna see if you can catch it. I can get very Confucianized when it comes, yeah, and I just created the word Confucianized.
Okay, I was like, I didn't know if you knew that you made a word.
Yeah.
It's a Southern thing. We do it all the time.
Y'all pulling out stuff.
Right. Just like near, not a near another. But but yeah, just pay attention, come as a blank slate. Um Please follow direction. Just please follow direction, because if you come back and you're asking me something and I'm telling you it's got to be like this, and you say but, then that lets me know you're not paying attention to the lesson.
I guess you're gonna be a strict teacher.
Oh yeah, I am, because if you there's so many people out here that I've seen altars over the years of all kind of spirits and stuff like this with all kind of stuff on it. Legba has weed and cocaine on his altar. Oshun got honey jars and orange slices and all this stuff. And Freda has this. Right. Freda has this. Danto has this. And all these people are just messing themselves up spiritually. And then when these Loa and these spirits come down, they see these spirits face to face. And they wondering why this Loa is asking them, why is this on my altar? Or why is this happening? Why is this? Or get scolded, for some shape, form, or fashion. It's because they let Google be a godparent.
So I guess, with that being said too, there's so many people, and I know Alyssa and I have spoken about it, that just add titles onto their name and have not been initiated, haven't gone through any of, the classes, the requirements to actually have that title. So with that being said, how would you tell people to differentiate between those people when they don't know? I mean, we know you know what you know. We all know. But then, there's people who are like, well, this guy added me as a friend and he's a bobble out. He said he can totally help me. What is it? What is the advice that you can give to them so that they don't get caught up in that situation?
For one, nobody should be inboxing you offering their services. If you need help from somebody, you seek them out yourself. For two, if you have somebody that's a Houngan or a Mambo, they have godparents and their godparents have godparents. You need to start asking them who their godparents is, who their godparents is. What's their name? Every Houngan or Mambo has a second name. And if they can't give you a second name that they received during Conzo, then run. Because as you can see on my Facebook page, you see Houngan Sherwin, but then you see another name. You see Etoile Brie Bu Houngan. That is the name I received during Conzo. If they can't give you that, then no. And then they start charging for simple shit. Like say for instance, how to salute the Loa. If somebody is charging you $150 on how to salute the Loa, run, because it does not. It's free. There's Haitians that practically were born in how to do the V-Ray. Like that didn't happen to me. Like a guy was all in my inbox and he was like, well, you need to learn how to do this with this Loa, and you need to learn how to salute. And I asked him, I said, well, for one, who is your godmother? He didn't want to tell me. Well, then how can I salute the Loa? Oh, well, for this fee, I can show you this, and this. No, you can look on YouTube and see how to salute them, how to do the V-Ray. It's easy. It's a couple of turns. It's a couple of turns, knee bows, and that's it. And also, they shouldn't be charging exorbitant amounts of money for simple stuff. Like it doesn't cost $3,000-$4,000 for love work. And but the big thing though, to reiterate, is to go back to the initiatory people. Their godparents.
The lineage.
Right, the lineage. Like what's the name of your house? If they can't tell you even the name of their house, then no. There's things that a person that initiated can practically sing to you to speak of their lineage. That go for conjure folk too. All these people out here with their magical grandparents and stuff like that. I'll tell anybody in a minute. You don't believe me? Come to South Carolina. I will introduce you to every single aunt, uncle, cousin, sister, brother, every single one, and each one will tell you who I am and who they are when it comes to conjure. The only person you can't speak to is my father, but we can pull out the Ouija board.
Oh, not the Ouija board. Not the Ouija board.
Yep, they want to be that serious. I pull out the Ouija board, do some table tipping, the whole thing.
Well, it's nice to know that's an option. So, just in case you're like, we can go all the way through it. I got it.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see. Well, I guess, for me, one of my final questions is, by the time all is said and done and everyone's taking your class and they're walking out, what is it that you hope they say? What is that, what is your hope for the people who are going to be learning from you?
My hope is that, for one, that they can work with what I teach them, and they'll have a solid understanding of working with various gods and spirits. I don't want nobody to walk away and say, okay, well, I can't really do anything with this, or this hasn't helped me in any kind of way. That's all I want, is for the knowledge to be helpful and useful. I don't believe in useless knowledge.
That they put the knowledge to work.
Right.
Working knowledge, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
That is exciting. What did you have any questions, Sherwin?
Oh, no, not really. Oh, but another thing I'm also getting into the spirits of conjure as well, because people forget about High John the Conqueror being an actual person or actual spirit, or Brer Rabbit, or John Henry, or Anansi, um, and let's see here, who else? And probably more than likely some least known spirits, some of the spirits that are in the Bible, things of that nature as well.
That's exciting. That's very
Mhm.
good. So, hi, Mama Star. I was like, what? She just popped on. So
Mama's
that's exciting. That is exciting. So, you want them to have a working knowledge, getting to all the spirits that, many of the spirits of conjure as well.
Mhm.
So, will there be a lot of homework? Because I'm excited about it. Is there going to be a lot of homework?
Yep.
We all have homework. Okay.
Hmm. Especially with the conjure portion, because there's a lot with that I'm not gonna have written down. So,
A lot of story time.
oh yeah, most definitely, especially with High John the Conqueror. I love High John.
Why?
Oh, because for one, he is a trickster, and he gained a lot of knowledge with being a trickster, and he's also an African king. So, along with being a trickster or with a jester, he also know how to be royalty, and how to slide past various obstacles, and also how to overcome oppression. We're gonna throw some devil in there too, because they're gonna be some variances between the devil and Lucifer, and within conjure as well.
Mm-hmm.
But because people forget about the devil when it comes to conjure.
Okay, it's good. Can I teach Sarah all the things? Yes, the answer is yes. Yes, I accept. Oh, and Alyssa said, be ready for your pop quizzes.
Where's Bob? Yep.
There's pop quizzes?
Yeah, she knows about my pop quizzes, because I will throw a Bible passage out there. Y'all just don't know.
Without quiz.
A lot of those Bible passages and stuff I post, I'll inbox her in a minute, be like, so tell me what you get from that Bible passage.
Mm. So I have heard that you are the king of prayer. That
Me?
you can, like, yep. That you
Oh Lord.
don't be shy now. So you are the king of prayer.
Me?
So how did this come about? Besides just growing up with it.
The preacher man part.
I mean, but there's a lot of preacher men that can't pray.
No, but he can pray. Sherwin.
Yeah, I'm like, I've never heard Sherwin pray. I want to hear some prayers.
Yeah, me pray. Oh no, I wasn't ready to pray. I was ready to pray, but that came about when I was little. I used to pray. There, my father and my grandmother used to run a restaurant here in South Carolina, and there was a preacher and his wife used to come to visit, and they would not eat until I would come and pray for them before they ate. And so then that was always a thing. That was always a constant thing that I would pray for them. And then my grandmother, she had a stroke, and when she had a stroke, she couldn't talk. But when she was laying in bed, everybody was surrounding her, and she looked at me, and of course, they can't talk, but I understood what she said because she said a few words, and uh, she wanted me to pray for her. And so everybody held hands in a circle around her, and I prayed for her. And so ever since then, I've been praying. I prayed for my father before he passed. Um, it was just I've always had a prayerful mindset growing up.
So so I don't get a prayer. I have to wait for like 8 more years to hear a prayer. Is that what you're saying?
8 more years.
Like, this is what it sounds like. It sounds like it's gonna be taking forever for me to hear a prayer.
You can, when we get ready, you can close us out with the prayer. That would be nice.
You're gonna close it out with a prayer.
I'll call you Sherwin, baby.
Look, she got that big Cheshire cat smile. Yes, pray.
Yes, prayers out. I want to hear this.
You want to hear me pray?
I want to hear you pray. Wait,
Lord.
but you can't do it yet. Are we done? Is it time to pray us out?
Oh,
That's up to you. You the one brought it up.
I know, but you're saying, well, you'll pray us out when we're done. I was like, are we done? Because you're like, well, it's time to pray. And you're like,
did
whole chest and everything.
Did your grandma call you Sherwin, baby?
My grandma?
Like,
Yeah.
Sherwin, baby, will you pray for me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, when you were saying that you could hear it, that's what I heard that she said to you. But it was like she didn't say it, but you could hear her say it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Okay. All right, now you can go ahead.
Now you can pray us out.
To pray. Oh boy.
You're so goody.
Dear Lord, please do something with these shiesty. No, go ahead.
Let me stop. Let me get into the mindset. I got the center in the spirit.
Because I'm gonna be like, open it. I can't help it. I even did in church like cheat.
Oh, okay. I gotta get serious. Y'all play too much. But anyway, like what? I mean, hold up now. What kind of prayer you want now? Like you got to be specific. Like, do you want just a prayer just because? Just pray for the people that were on the live.
Sure.
I mean,
yeah, pray for all of us that are on the live. Good energy out there.
Pray they all show up for class.
Right.
Pray for the Collegium.
Yeah, pray for the school.
Pray for the school.
And the students of the school.
All right.
And the teachers, you can pray for us too.
And the lottery, you can pray for.
Yeah.
The lottery, I'm praying for that for myself too.
I mean, pray, I can. I win the lottery. I'll give you pray for me to win the
lottery. Okay, I'll do kind of like a blank slate prayer because I know a lot of people in here ain't Christian, anything like that. So I'll just say Spirit instead of God, or work interchangeably.
Okay.
Through the connection of spirit, I offer this humble prayer that the blessings flow from east to west, from north to south, and everywhere in between. That the Collegium is blessed, that all those who are a part of this live is blessed as well. May all good things from above and below balance us, cleanse us, empower us, and bless us, so that we will go about our night with restful sleep and go about the following day walking in truth, walking in those blessings. And so that all those who are depressed, may their mind be clear. All those who pockets are empty, may they flow with prosperity. May abundance flow through everyone, through many lifetimes, through many spaces. I ask now, Spirit, to heal those who are hurt, to heal their broken hearts, to those who are going through COVID. May their lungs be clear. May they leave the hospital with a bill of health. I ask now, Spirit, to bless the hands of those who work and bless the feet of those who walk, to bless those who cannot get up so that they can sit up and receive nourishment, so that they can heal, so that they can know that life will flow through them once again. I ask, Spirit, now that all good things flow, that the blessings of the Almighty bring them strength. I ask now that all those who lack guidance see the light. I ask now that all those who walk in darkness and shadow no longer feel fright. I ask now that all those who reach up and ask for a blessing receive it. In the name of the all, so mote it be. Amen.
Look at you. Oh.
Come on, all. Good child. Stop.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. It was a beautiful prayer. Very well done. Look at you.
Spot. My that one guy I got that be preaching, you about to make her come through.
I heard it, your voice. I was like, uh-oh, he's about to really get into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to be one of those long black folk church.
Yeah, that's why I had to cut it off. I was about to say, yes, Lord.
That
push a little further. Be like, we're gonna be here all day. We've been here for 6 hours.
No. That was
a revival. It's a revival.
I know, but like bringing it to yourself, but like.
But that's why I had to cut it short. I was about to get into it. I was about to go. There was a woman in the Bible.
Oh no!
The issue of blood.
It's on the live right now. Somebody needs to hear a message.
I know. Everybody's business out, Sharon. Not everybody. Look, like this is too small to be calling out everybody's business. We all be sitting there trying to guess. Like, is it you? Was he talking about you? Too small.
Prophesizing, like I see someone right now in the spirit.
Everybody be like, ooh, who is it? Everybody's nosy.
Like, child, go home, get off that man's couch. His wife is on the way.
Oh Lord, no. Oh my God, everybody will be inboxing everyone.
Was he talking about you? Was he talking about you?
Everybody
would be inboxing everybody. I like, because Sherwin said somebody was sleeping on somebody's couch and like that person's married. So live. Everybody was like writing down everybody's name. Was it?
Like, take that PS5 back. He don't deserve it.
It's too small. Calling out everybody's business. We'd be like, who we think it was? Because it wasn't us, and we know it wasn't you. So it might have been this person over here. Like church gossip. You have everybody gossiping. There'd be no chicken left in, no chicken, no food left over. Sitting there gossiping with nothing.
No. Everybody come to the Collegium looking for me, but like, so you said something about this married man.
I know. I'd be like, oh my God.
He'll be having all kinds of dudes in his inbox. Why are you telling my business?
I know that we think our side piece was on your live. And we're not sure. But it might have been us you were talking about. We appreciate your discretion though. I'd be like, dude, you're just sitting there confessing. Just let it go. Don't say
right.
Bill Clinton this all the way out. But it wasn't me.
Right. A guy did that at work. He made himself look so guilty, and he was a supervisor. And he stood in front of everybody. He was like, "I don't know none of y'all outside of this building, and none of y'all have my phone number, sir.
That would be me.
Sir, you telling on yourself.
That would be me. I'd be like, I changed my number. Y'all don't know me. I don't know y'all. Matter of fact, I just started. I know I've been here for 10 years, but to y'all, I've been here for 10 minutes, and that's all that matters. We're going to go with that.
Right. He was like, I ain't
relations with that girl.
Right. He was
like sexual relations.
Yes, exactly.
I didn't do it. The cigar did it, I swear.
I'd be like, it was a temptation. The devil made me do it. I seen it with my own eyes. It was like I wasn't even in my body.
How you astral project from something like that? Like that must
project from my
listen, that must have been some good stuff.
I would astral project from myself. I'd be like, I don't even know what my body is. So that's I can't take responsibility for it.
You'd be up there floating and looking like, my God. That gives a whole new meaning to getting your soul snatched, don't it?
It would, but you know what? I would play that out.
But
all the way through.
Willow says it wasn't me, but when he caught red-handed,
straight caught red-handed. He's like, it wasn't me. Or I'd be like Johnny Cochran. I Cochran from. I'd be like, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. And I'd be like, I was not in my body. It was not fitting at that time, and I don't know what happened. I'd write it all out. Would not be me. I didn't do it.
Not my sock, none of it.
I'd be like, that didn't even look like my sock. Be like, but isn't that the same on the other foot? Is it?
Look at Walmart.
I'd be like, this is a very generic sock that you're trying to blame on me. Like,
somebody gonna watch this live, and he gonna be on the couch. It's gonna be a guy. He gonna jump and like, I got to go.
Probably someone's already pulling up their pants. You're like, I need to make sure I have all of my property in my jeans.
Like, oh shit, I've been discovered.
Just like trying to tiptoe out.
Matter of fact, don't even put the pants on. Have the pants in the arms and be like,
probably that one.
Be ducking down. See y'all in a minute.
I know, like army crawl. That's when you have to be like, this army crawl to the door. Like, don't just get up when you're there and then close the door quietly. Like,
you know what would be funny though? That somebody's watching this right now and there's a guy sitting on the couch watching TV and the wife being in sweatpants and she looked like.
I know. And look, he's staring straight ahead, like just one little bead of sweat, like coming right back. I'm not gonna turn and acknowledge this. It is not happening.
Not tonight, Satan, not tonight.
And that's when the shallow breathing starts because you don't want your chest to be like.
And then you hear that heart beating, boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Like, look at you, just telling on yourself right there. Eyes not twitching. They just like trying to like, maybe she's not looking at me like. Like eyes everywhere else except her. Be like, what is going on?
And then everybody go to bed. You hear do boom.
No. Just flooring off. Be like, I call you tomorrow. And then never hear from him again. Be like,
never.
Been disconnected.
Facebook been deactivated.
Just jacked up. And you see people making fake accounts, and then they be like, did they block me or is it really gone? Let me make a fake account so I can see if they blocked me or is it really gone. Like,
right.
No. What about the women watching though? They're gonna go home and be looking at their man like, I know what you did. Who is
like, that conjure preacher man called you out, and I'm feeling because I felt it. The blood, like the whole spirit.
He was wearing a wife beater.
That is your man on that person's couch. I'm like, Sharon, you have people in the inbox. You be like, I don't even know who you are. But if you feel like your man's cheating, it's possibly true.
Right. Spirit.
Ask. He probably is.
But you're gonna have some women in there too. They'd be like, were you talking about me? Because it was a temporary thing. I normally don't do stuff like that. It just happened to happen this one Wednesday. And I mean, I don't think it'll happen again. I mean, maybe it would have happened once or twice, but was it me you were talking about? I'd be like, just say it wasn't you.
Right. Had a woman cleaning her house in the morning, listening to Deborah Cox. How did you get here?
Look, Sarah said I've been staring at my husband this whole damn time, and he wants to know why I'm pissed for no reason. Look, his eyes all over the place. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Like, you son of a.
I know. Then you can see, like, you're gonna have those people be like, man, they don't ever cook for me, but this time when I came home, they cooked for me. I think they're trying to kill me. I think they know something I'm not supposed to know.
Why is he being nice?
And they'd be like, he bought me something. What's going on?
They're like, Medea, there's some grits on the stove. They're hot. They're hot.
Hot grits. Leave them right here.
Some hot grits.
Oh my God. I miss the Medea plays. They were great. Good knowledge in Medea plays. Good knowledge in Medea plays. Some good stuff.
Oh boy.
That was fun. Thank you for the prayers. And I know some people are probably gonna be like, I wonder though. Let me go see if somebody's sleeping on somebody's couch and be like, thanks, Sherwin.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I mean, can you pray the cheating out of my man? I'd be like, nope.
But you can roll him up in a bed sheet.
No, nothing. Just push him out the window. Hope you can get his money.
See him right now when the man come in the house. First thing he do, lay on the couch. Oh no, get your ass up. Get your
like, oh, that's not happening. There is no couch here. What you sitting on? This is my special chair. The whole thing. The whole thing.
The whole thing. Not half. The whole thing.
The whole thing. This is my whole special chair. All of it.
I can hear somebody right now. This man on this here computer say you don't deserve a PS5. I'm sorry, cancel.
No.
Then they get out the laptop and straight on the couch.
Mad people in your inbox. It's gonna be so funny. I'll be like, see, if you didn't say anything, now you have their PS5, but now you got. But then you could be like, for $3,000, I might be able to fix this situation up for you. Like, you can get your PS5 and be all
good. Oh God.
Oh, God. Okay, look, we gotta go before I pee myself. I swear to God. Thank y'all for being here.
I'm like, that's good laughter. It's good laughter. It's fun. But y'all have a blessed night. Sherwin, thank you for the prayer. Lynna, always awesome to see you. I look forward to having you both at the Collegium. I look forward to us all like learning from each other, because I'm definitely going to be in each of your classes, be like trying to suck up all this knowledge, for sure. But yes, you are not going to pray my whole soul and information out, Sherwin. So this might be like Spirit's telling you too much. But guys, have a good night and be blessed. I'm gonna eat these crab legs that I have. So
all right.
Guys, love y'all bunches.
Love you too. All right.